Hey guys, what's up? So my name is Arsum and this is the second video I have brought for each one of you where I show you how to set your goals. And the best way to do that for me is to showcase to you how I set my own goals, right? I can just walk you guys through how I hold myself accountable, and I will give you a good idea of how you could perhaps set your goals as well. Before I go into the details, I want to mention that there are three aspects to setting goals, right? The first is you want to define what the goal itself is. The second is to have a timeline and to break the process so that you have a roadmap, right? What kind of resources are you going to use and how frequently are you going to use them? And the third is evaluation, to evaluate were you successful in your goal. One more big tip is that when you set goals, you want to be a professional and you want to release them publicly, which ensures that it's going to hold you accountable to some standard, because now you have a chip on your shoulder, a responsibility that people are watching, and you actually want to do the work that you said you will do. So make it public, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I encourage you to do that as well. And then the last good thing is don't set goals over large periods of time. Don't set yearly goals. It's fine to have some goals for 2025, but 365 days honestly is just too long of a time, and people don't have that much patience and stamina. So what I recommend is what businesses do, which is set quarterly goals for yourself. So what I've done is I have set the goals for Q1 of 2025, which is the first 3 months. So literally from January 16th all the way to March 31st, which is 10 weeks, is what I have set my goals for right now. And without further ado, let's get directly into those. Alright, so the first thing you want to do before you actually start setting your goals is that you need to do something which is called a constraint diagnosis. You need to understand what are the big constraints, limitations in your life right now, and then you need to devise goals that can help you overcome those limitations. Now, as this reads, Q1 2025 action plan, so it's dated January 16 to March 31st, that's Q1 quarter 1, and I basically organize all of my goals in certain categories. So I'm going to walk you through what this basically entails. And I want to make this clear, goals can be different for different people, right? So I don't want any one of you guys who's watching this video to be triggered and be like, oh, some you're setting goals like those, but I can't set those goals. Look, listen, every individual is different and people are going to have different goals. This is supposed to give you an idea of what you can have in your life, right? So let's get into the first goal, which is faith. So I am a person of faith, but I struggle with faith as well, and I want to become a more spiritual person. And I put this at the top really because this is the bedrock of who I am as a human being. And so I really want to invest more energy into this. And I want to give you an idea of what it looks like. So I'm a Muslim. I follow Islam as a faith. Now you might come from a different faith background, which is totally fine. Perhaps you're Christian, let's say, and perhaps you do care about your spirituality. Then you can figure out something similar that works for you, right? So instead of perhaps reading the Quran, it's like reading your religious scriptures, whatever those are. But this is how you essentially break down goals, right? You want to have specific metrics. So I know that there are 280 pages left that I need to read, and so if I want to do 280 in Q1, then that means I need to do 4 pages per day, right? So it's here's why this is so beautiful, because if I manage to get 4 pages per day, that necessarily means that I will get 280 pages and the whole thing done at the end of Q1, right? So yeah, I have like some faith goals for myself essentially that I mostly stick to as the first thing in the morning, first 30 minutes, and then I get straight into work. Then I have my fitness and my mindset goals, and I really put them together because they are like related. A big part of that is sleeping and waking up on time. So for me, bedtime is 9 p.m. I go to bed, wake up time is 4 a.m. And then when I wake up at 4, I dive straight into work, and then from 4 to 8 a.m., 4 hours, I work on an empty stomach. That's the whole idea, and I'm not using any phone until like 11 a.m. That's the first time I'm going to open my phone to see what is happening in the outside world. I'm not going to have any devices in my room just so that there are no distractions. I'm going to have them with an accountability partner who I'm going to meet in the morning. That's how you set up systems for yourself. It's just a meal breakdown, when I'm going to work out, how I want my weight to change, really what is my physique that I want. You want to write as much detail as you can, and you want to break it down into steps. Then I also have a career goal, which is I want an offer for myself as I graduate from college. So how am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to spend 3 hours on applications every single day in the morning. If I send 5 applications a day, that is going to equate to 350 applications sent in 10 weeks. Now that is something spectacular, but I'm not going to be afraid of this number of 350, because I know if I can make 5 a day consistency, I can make 350 in Q1. That's the whole beauty of this whole process. So I'm just breaking down the step. This many applications, this many connection requests, this many calls, this many referrals equates to this much progress overall, right? So if you can do the minimum per day, then you can achieve the bigger goals, right? And so the next goal I set for myself is reading. And really, I have learned, so in the last 3 weeks, I finished two whole books, which if I was reading them, it would take me so long. But what I did was I listened to audiobook versions of them. I literally listened to audiobook versions of them while I was doing the gym. And so this is very interesting. If I work out 6 times a week, let's say the lowest estimate is 1 hour workout, so I have 6 hours per week. And 6 hours per week is enough to finish one book if you read it, if you listen to it while you're working out. This is the best kind of investment you can do in yourself, which is to read an audiobook, which you can find for free on YouTube or on Google. And this is literally spectacular. You can finish one book a week. So if I finish one book a week, I finish 4 per month, I can literally finish 10 books in Q1. And this is something I'm really stoked to accomplish for this coming Q1 session, right? I also have some specific goals. I want to be able to have greater focus when I'm listening to audiobooks. I want to increase my speed from 1.5x to 2.0x. So after reading, the next goal I have set for myself is YouTube. And what this essentially means is I just want to make content, right? So there's a lot that is going on in my life with regards to college, with regards to productivity, with regards to becoming a better version of myself. And I want to document all of it. I want to show you guys the raw side of my life and the actions I'm taking and the decisions I am implementing on myself and how I'm changing as a result of those decisions and those actions. And so what I really want to achieve is to showcase to you guys how if you do the same thing, if you implement the same things, you can have drastic changes in your life as well. So really I want to be the guinea pig, and through me perhaps you guys can take away some things that I can implement it myself. What works, what does not work, right? And the basic idea is to do 3 videos a week, which will take me to 30 videos by the end of Q1, which is good enough. And my whole idea is not to judge myself before I've completed those 30 videos. The only thing I will hold myself accountable to is that between every video I make, I just want to improve on one singular thing. So between every successive video, I just want to improve one thing. I just want to become better at one thing. If I've done it, I have succeeded. The next goal I have set for myself is really a mentorship. So the way I see it is I want to serve people, and I understand that income is really a reflection of your impact. I have this over here. And so really what I want to do is I want to serve some people who are full of fire and who want to level up and change themselves. Now I'm a productivity freak, right? And I want to document that journey, but in the same process I also want to impact some people's lives. I want to change their lives in a better way, right? Making them more accountable, more productive, right? So the whole idea is to set up an offer for myself, a mentorship, a one-to-one coaching, take 3 weeks to like design the offer itself so that my client, my partner knows exactly what they're getting into. And then I just want to serve one person. That's the whole goal for 10 weeks. So just one person I want to serve, and I want to make sure that I serve them and that they can level up. And the last goal I have set for myself is a language goal. So I grew up with Punjabi as my native tongue, but as with a lot of Punjabi youth, especially those in the urban centers, our parents did not speak the language to us when we were growing up because they wanted us to learn Urdu and English so that we could have better job opportunities. But now I really want to reconnect with my language and my culture. So this is really something that's kind of close to my heart. And the goal is not really big. It's like 10 minutes a day. I want to listen to a Punjabi podcast, right? Apolitical, humorous. And if I just manage to do it, for Q1, I will have listened nearly 12 hours of Punjabi. And that will be really beneficial for me in terms of my goals. And to conclude, essentially, I'm living or I'm going to be experiencing these next very interesting 10 weeks with this motto that I made up for myself, which is the virtue of success is by the work you do on the controllables, not by the outcome. This is taken from John Wooden, who is arguably one of America's best coach in the last 50 years. And he said that I will not have failed if I lose the final event, but I have put all of the work in the practice sessions, right? So you do what you're supposed to do and you leave the outcome as it may be. Guys, I hope this was helpful. This is how you set goals. If you want this Google Doc, I'm happy to share it. Just comment down below and I'll share it with you guys. And hopefully you set good goals for yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.